Hello, YouTube community. I am Steve, and this is Friday, November the 4th. No, wait a minute. November the 3rd. Yes, the 3rd. 2017. It is 9:30 a.m., and it is once again time for Speaking Freely. So I'm coming to you live from my studio here in the free and independent Republic of Alberta, which will remain free and independent until such time as Justin Trudeau is removed from office. Today I wanted to speak freely about something that happened last night. I was watching an internet program I quite enjoy, Louder with Crowder actually, Stephen Crowder. He's a expat Canadian, lives in Texas I believe now. And he was doing his show and he was talking about how Donald Trump Jr. had sent out a tweet that was picked up by Stephen Colbert. Don't get me started on him. And was talking about Halloween candy. And it sounded like a pretty good idea. And my kid, who I avoid talking about my kids' gender, not because it's some transgender thing, because I'm not into that. I just don't talk about my kids' gender because I don't think it's anybody's business. And because there is a number of people out there who really don't like me, it is important to me that my kid be kept safe. You can come after me. I'm fair game because I'm putting myself out there. My kid is not. With that being said, my kid overheard some of this and asked me a question about it, so I ran it past them. And I said, okay, well, here's the deal. How about this? We dump out your Halloween candy. We'll divide it in half. I'll take half of the candy, give you the other half, and I'll take the half that I took and I'll go out and I'll give it to some kid who did not go out for Halloween. You can just imagine the response, and the response was quite predictable. Not a chance. My kid went screaming around saying, no, not going to happen. And I looked at my kid and I said, well, because up to this point, my kid has always said to me, sharing is caring. So, of course, me being the ass I am, I looked at my kid and I said, well, sharing is caring, isn't it? My kid says, yeah. I said, well, then I'm going to take half of your candy and give it to some kid who didn't go out for Halloween. But it's my candy. But sharing is caring. The wheels in my kid's head started turning, and when my wife came home, we reenacted it for my wife, because that's what my kid likes to do. This is how my kid learns. And then I looked at my kid, and I said, what about if you decide to share some of your candy with somebody else who... Is that okay? Yes, says my child, that's okay. The point is, my kid then learned, if I decide to share my candy with somebody else, I'm okay with that because I made the decision myself. But no one else is going to make that decision with my candy but me. This morning I brought up the idea, well, what about a kid in hospital? So instead of taking all of your candy, how about instead we take, you count out 9, I take 1. You count out 9, I take the 10th. And we keep doing that. So 10% of the candy. And instead of just giving it to some kid who stayed home for Halloween, I'll take it down to the children's hospital. And I'll give it to a kid who's stuck in the... No, kid wouldn't go for that either. Again, I'm deciding for my kid. That's not okay. My kid gets it. And that's really the point here. My kid understands it. And I think all kids inherently get this point. That is, it's mine, and it's for me to decide what to do with it, not anybody else. So, at this age group, even now, kids are inherently understanding of the principles of capitalism. Because it's mine, charity comes from me, charity cannot be forced upon me by the government. in this case, and of course in our family situation, I am the government. I am king of my own domain. My last name is Britain, so I guess anybody last name Britain, we are all Britons, and I am your king. But I think that shows something about children, and I think that just shows something about, underscores the base human nature that everybody is hardwired to have. What's mine is mine. I decide, not you, not the government, nobody else. If somebody takes it from me, I am being robbed. Now, we have, as a society, agreed that there is a reasonable amount of taxation. There is a reasonable amount of taxation in society that we can probably all accept. It is probably nowhere near what we are currently being taxed. And I would also venture to suggest that with taxes being lowered, charitable support of whatever charitable organizations we as individuals choose to support would increase. Because I also believe, as do most capitalists, that people are inherently charitable, and people will inherently help another and share with another in a time of need. So what's the moral of the story? A, don't steal your kid's candy. Kid won't find it funny. B, don't threaten to steal your kid's candy. The kid won't find it funny. C, or 3, depending on how you're counting this, governments have it all wrong. We are overtaxed. And that is a serious problem with society nowadays. So in any case, that's my rant for this week. I'm Stephen Britton, of course. You can find me on Facebook, Steve Speaks Freely. You can find me on Twitter, Minds, and Patreon at SC Britton, Britton. Of course, if you like what you're seeing and you want to help me improve the show and maybe get a nicer set, maybe nicer studio, better camera, better equipment, you can help me out. It's never expected. I don't expect this of anyone, but I do appreciate it when people do slide me a few shekels. Send me some cents, dollars. I've got it set up so you can go as low as $1 a month if you choose. If you want to go a bit more at $5 a month, that's a possibility as well. And of course, $10 a month is the upper level that I set right now. It's up to you. But if, of course, understand that it's always appreciated. And with that, I'm going to drop off now. And I'll be back on Monday. And I'll talk to you then.